At first, I did not know what to expect of the Souls-like game with the feature of the anime vampires. And to be honest, that actually kind of sounded up my alley. Not enough games feature vampires, in my opinion. And you know what? I'm very glad, in fact, that I gave Code Vein a go. Because after a shaky start, I actually ended up loving it. There's no denying that Code Vein is heavily influenced by the Dark Souls. It has currency earned by defeating enemies, the interconnected world full of shortcuts to be discovered and unlocked, places where you can rest, level up and teleport to other locations, and a limited healing ability that can be enhanced over the time. And then of course there's a combat which requires perfect timing and a whole lot of skills. Admittedly, there is a weightlessness of movements and a combat in Code Vein initially quite left me unsure of it. But after I disposed of that expectations and put Dark Souls out of my mind, I actually realized that Code Vein is quite mechanically solid. It can't quite compare to the work of the From Software, but it does a justice to its job. Perhaps I'd be more critical of the Code Vein's combat if it wasn't for the fact that AI Companion assists you every step of the way. Believe it or not, early in the game they got on my nerves quite a bit, as they killed nearly everything before I even got a chance to land a hit. And they talk too fucking much. Though, while the talking too much issue persists, I began to appreciate the assistance as the enemies, all of them pretty much got far stronger. Eventually, your companion becomes a true battle buddy, someone that you need to work alongside to combat the countless foes in your path. They take the heat off you when fighting multiple opponents, buff you when they enter into the combat, and pick you up when you're down, and not once, sometimes not even twice. Now you can dismiss them if you'd rather go at it alone. You can invite a real person as well to join you in the game, and mind you, it's so much faster for somebody to join you. That's a big plus. But the gist is that the Code Vein is not as hard as usual the Souls-like, not by default anyway. It's the ways in which Code Vein differentiates itself from the standard Dark Souls formula that really make it a bit of a shine. For example, while you can't allocate points to specific stats when leveling up, or equip a myriad of armor, parts, and accessories, right? Block code system makes up for it. Essentially, characters, classes that determine your base stats and their capabilities. You can change your block code at any time and whenever you like, with new block codes being discovered as you play through the game. It means you're not tied into a class choice made by the start of the game, or restricted by the stats points you've placed. I primarily played as a two-handed sword-wielding warrior, but I could change my blood code and become an efficient spellcaster or a nimble assassin without any repercussions. Now, each blood code also has a number of active and passive skills that you can learn to, called the gifts. A melee-centric blood code might allow you to perform devastating lunging attack, for example, in addition to provide gifts that provide you with a combat advantages under various circumstances. A blood code focuses on the gift used to attack, on the other hand, might allow you to fling magical projectiles, and provide an ample pool of ichor, the energy used to power such a gifts. The real delight comes in mastering these gifts by killing enemies while they are equipped, as then you can carry them across the other blood codes. You won't be able to throw many fireballs as a tank-like heavy axe user, for example, but the option's still there if you want to. You're free to create skill sets that works for you solely, or can create multiple and frequently switch them between as well. Code Vein is also more direct with its storytelling. It had my attention during the first half of the game, but I wasn't fully invested in it until some real revelations were made. Things picked up and I actually found myself caring about the ragdoll bunch of vampires, or I should say revenants, that I found myself lumbering with. I love the Dark Souls games, I seriously do, but I couldn't give a damn about their stories because I'm kinda lazy and I don't want to work with them. It's refreshing that Code Vein doesn't demand you to read the description of every item that you find to piece together the fragments of a narrative. Its story unfolds with the entertaining cutscenes, heartfelt dialogue, and memory of sequences that which were actually very well done, but completely in some cases unnecessary, especially when you do your slow walking. But thankfully you had an option to skip them overall. Stylish and moody, they let you learn more about the supporting cast and actually make you feel for them. Now it helps that Code Vein is a great looking game. Its character creation is one of the best around, allowing you to create a vampire that's stylish or perhaps truly ghastly. The supporting cast is also quite great too, and its environments are detailed and varied. Yes, they are varied, believe it or not. Even better, there are some fantastically grotesque and interesting character designs. I actually look forward to entering new areas, eager to see what challenges they present, and brilliant bosses that are just the icing on the cake personally. But there's just one big problem. The level scaling might need some kind of work. At the beginning to middle, everything seems so easy, especially with a companion. But when you face 3 to 4 last bosses, the level spike drastically increase. And then you feel like you're part of the Dark Souls series of game. Now the important part, perhaps, boobs. If you're offended by this, probably Code Vein is not for you. Pretty much every female character that you meet or befriend is overly sexualized. Personally for me, I really did not mind that. I could definitely easily ignore this, but some cases, for example, a central character, female character, who insists on wearing some rags and pretty much half naked all the time. Now for those of course who can overlook these things, Code Vein will no doubt prove to be unexpected pleasure. Its weightlessness takes some of the nuance and the impact out of its Dark Souls inspired combat, and its difficulty is more of a wavy line than a gradual curve at times. But it got its heart as well. An engaging story, engrossing character development, and a tense action come together to form an adventure that grips you from beginning to an end. It's one that you are more likely to see through the completion thanks to the so reliable AI partners that actually hold their own in the combat. Dark Souls with anime vampires is a good way to describe Code Vein, but in reality there's so much more going on beneath the surface. If I would have had to give it a score, I probably would give it like a 7.5 out of 10 for this game. This is a very good game and I highly recommend you checking it out if you have not already. If you want to have a good startup for the Dark Souls experience, this is the game. Definitely. Well, alright. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys all later and have a good one.